Hello everyone, this is part 3 of the chapter of challenges to Indian democracy. We are doing in this video we will do regionalism. Okay, you can see the heading. So what is regionalism actually? It is a traditional concept in India, and the constitution makers were well aware of this regionalism, so we have in the constitution some remedies for regionalism to prevent its growth in any form. Now, what is regionalism? Regionalism means love for one's own culture, and it is something natural. And love for one's own culture, traditions is natural and is an important factor. But if it becomes intense love for one's region and hatred for other regions, that is dangerous, and it becomes regionalism in a negative sense. So it is a feature. We should always direct our forces against this. We should favor decentralization of power, because if power is centralized in a particular region, so it would control all other regions, and there will be undue influence of the people, and it start here there. You can see in the map that in Assam we have Assamese, so people of different culture traditions, their food habits are different, so there is always a sense of isolation from other communities. But it had to be discovered because we are first Indians. You can see in big letters I have written it is we are first Indians. We have to strengthen our nation for the benefit of the people, and in negative sense we should remove it. We should keep the positive forces alive. Now, what are the forms of regionalism? How can you see the signals of regionalism in our country? Regionalism signals, we will see there is always a demand for separate provinces. If this is suffering from regionalism virus or disease, then it will demand. What will it demand? It can be any region. I have just taken for the sake of simplicity to give you an example. First, Assamese, you take that they demand autonomy, demand regional autonomy within the state, more autonomy. They are not interested in the country's external affairs, and there is always interstate disputes. There is aggressive regionalism, which is negative regionalism, as I've told you. There is linguistic regionalism, that is always there is a sense of invading into other religions and other regions and destroying their culture. So we have taken care in mind. After 1956 reorganization of states and integration of the states into India, we have faced Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the Iron Man of India, has greatly helped in the integration of states. In the 1960s, the bilingual state of Bombay, and there has been many given. The government has given in to the demands of these people for the more autonomy or carving out a state from another, because their culture do not match, and government has given. There are few examples which I will give. The first is, you see, this is also a separate statehood we want in Indian society. Now, initially in 1956 we had only 16 states, but in 1989 we had 25 states, and in 2000 we have 28 states. We are renaming places, we are carving out one state from the another. In 1960, Bombay was bifurcated into Maharashtra and Gujarat, and Nagaland was carved out of Assam. Punjab was organized into Punjabi speaking, Hindi speaking areas. In Himachal Pradesh and Chandigarh, we have seen the Arunachal Pradesh and the we have seen the formation of many states. To name a few, you see Manipur, Sikkim. This one not previously existing, but they have demanded for autonomy, and the government has given to it. Himachal, Goa, and Sikkim according to their needs. Okay, there is the Gorkha land movement. This is a famous movement. Till today, people are struggling for a separate state and their demands are not being given because they are had to be integrated into the nation. We need to first see the security of our country. In West Bengal, this Gorkhaland movement is there. In Telangana, Bodoland and Konkan states are there. Bodoland and Konkan states, Telangana. Under this side, there is in Jammu and Kashmir, the special status is also given, although it has been scrapped off in 2019. And interstate disputes are there. There is, if there one state feels that the other state is invading and are acting against its interests, then they can lead to disputes. The state of Punjab and Haryana over the issue of transfer of Chandigarh to Punjab, and Fazilka to Haryana. This has been given to Punjab, this has been given to Haryana. So they don't like dispute between Maharashtra, Karnataka, Belgaum. Okay. Now in Assam and Nagaland, on the reserved areas of Rangma, there is always a conflict, and you need to learn a few examples only. And in the Garo Kasi Hills, the area of Garo here the area of Garo Kasi Hills are there. Jaintia, Garo Kasi Hills. So they have already disputes are always there. And in Punjab and Haryana, over the Ravi, Bees and Satluj rivers, they flow here. Punjab and Haryana, they are always conflicting. There is also in Karnataka here the Kaveri rivers is flowing. In Tamil Nadu, this problem is there. Karnataka, they want to gain their influence of the river water that is flowing. So there is dispute. This shows the clear manifestation of the regionalism. And the manifestation of regionalism, there are several political parties even involved in it who support that there should be a separate region for them. The concept is here of the sons of the soil. And see, supposedly Bengal is born in West Bengal. So in the offices, in the government offices and other reservation, the state can do reservations, and they can give a preference to particular region, culture and tradition, that is the Bengalis. And there is also provisions in Jammu and Kashmir, Nagaland, Sikkim, and on the best of the sons of the soil. And now I don't know why it is not daughters of the soil too, but yet. And the principle had given strength to regionalism. There is always a cry for this there that Maharashtra is for the Marathis, and Odisha is for the Odiyas, Assam is for the Assamese. And these people, if the others come to their place for, you see, economic development cannot be done. You need to transfer resources from here to there, because in our country some states are good at producing something, the other states are good. We have to link it with the division of labor and accept the differences. So we need to share the resources as a country. And if the Assamese think that people here are coming and invading them, exploiting them, and this is a clear signal of regionalism. So there are different parties, like in Assam, Gana Sangram Parishad, and there is a fraction of the Shiv Sena. They demanded that there is always India. They demanded that the outsiders are invading their region. Okay. And there is aggressive regionalism in the form of Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, Tamil Senas. You can remember that all these are Senas. They want to uphold regionalism. And the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, the Tamil Nadu, the Tamil Senas, Hindu Senas in North Indian states, and this Sardar Sena in Gujarat. So Jagannath Sena in Odisha. Odisha is very famous for Jagannath temple, so you can remember in that way too. Okay. Mm, as a result, people have adopted hostile attitude and the policy of isolation, and there are violent anti-Bengal riots in Assam. They believe that their sons of the soil of Assam have been invaded by other sons from West Bengal. In 1960, we see a dangerous turn of events, and in Uttar Pradesh, Jammu, Kashmir, we have seen this indigenous population are preferring that in Jammu Kashmir the special status was that the indigenous committees would gain an area of land here, but it has been recently scrapped off. So there is also a reservation for certain regions and regional people. The indigenous regional people would get the benefits and others won't. Mm, and in Punjab 90% of seats are reserved for the Punjabis. In Bombay, the health minister closed down state and medical colleges to improve the mm, to disapprove the requests from other states that we want to study in Mumbai, but the government closed down the educational institutions. There is anti-South agitation. There in Maharashtra, we see the Shiv Sena always does the anti-South agitation against the Dravidian extremism of the South. Dravidians means they do not accept Hindi as an official national language, but this as they accept. So there is also a division based on this. Now there is also a division based on the linguistic culture of every people. Now the linguistic means language of the people. Now in West Bengal, Bengali should be taught in every schools from the primary class to the higher levels, but there is no lingua franca or common language that connects the world, and there always is a constitutional requirement of Hindi as a national language, but it is not accepted yet because the some people who are against this, they believe that any language cannot be imposed. In a democracy, people should have the freedom to choose what language they will speak, but there has to be of a national language, otherwise how people from different regions would connect with themselves. So this is a factor, and it forms a in Indian politics. In democracy, we see it is directly related. Now what are the remedies? We need again a well designed socialization process. What do we mean by that? We should have a strong governmental policy which should integrate all the regions. We should not follow the policy of appeasements. We should must take into account the national interests, and all the regions should have been embedded with the habit of cooperative competitive federalism. We should cooperate with other. That doesn't kill the competition, but it also increases the competition. The center must follow the policy of overthrowing a state government, must not follow the policy of overthrowing a state government organized by the regional party, because it leads to militant regionalism. If in West Bengal, if you see the TMC is at a very good rate, efforts should be made at the establishment of a national language, and this national language should be a part of every education system, whether it is in this state, it is in northeastern states, Kashmir or Odisha, Maharashtra, any state, it should be there to develop a sense of integration. Okay, and then rapid economic development should be there. If there is mass unemployment, from here the employment, supposedly in Bengal we have a good employment opportunity, in Telangana we don't have, so people will move from here and there, and these people may feel that their jobs have been lost because of the unlimited immigration of the Telugus into Bengalis, and it can be for any state. I just give you one example. And the structure lies in the proper utilization, the remedy lies in the proper utilization and harnessing of the technological advancement in our society to develop all the regions equally. No, say no to pocket development, okay? The development should be of a self-imposed code of conduct. The media should not be a mouthpiece of the region, and it should not behave in an anti-national way. It should also take care of the interests of all the people, mm, and media in a democracy plays a very important role. Democratic federal constitutionalism and erosion of this democracy in India and is done because of constant central interferences in the working of the state governments, which are controlled by the political parties. They have strengthened the forces. There is a misuse of the Article 356, which increases the power of the cabinet and the PM during emergencies, and there is also a discriminatory attitude in giving aids to different states. So it also leads to regionalism. And for example, I tell you that now the BJP is in power, yeah, and if it practices regionalism, it will give preference more if there is a flood disaster in the country here. It will give preference to only these two states, and others will be left out. And only if only these two states and this are left out. So this is regionalism. The central government must not interfere, and they should be equally granting the aids. There should be a protection of the tribals in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. There are many islands which are uninhabited that had preserved their culture indeed, and if we just lead to transgression and we destroy them, so they will become agitated and they will demand for regionalism or other country where they could preserve their culture. And the multi-purpose projects should be undertaken. Defense establishments, special economic zones should be undertaken with care without offending the people. For example, dams. If dams are built without taking into account the people who will be displaced, then it will also lead to regionalism. Because some, and mainly who are affected, the tribal people, because the forests are uprooted and they live in forests. It is their home. And there should be a prevention of regionalization of Indian history. If we say that the formation of the Congress was in Bengal, it was in different places its formation was there. The movement, all national movement we should call it, not a regional movement. Although some regional movements were there, revolts and protests, but it was not concentrated in one particular religion. It spreaded to other regions, and it ultimately accumulated in the Indian national movement. The national hero should not be projected as this was a Bengali hero, this is a Punjabi hero. Then the other regions would feel that they have been underestimated. There should be a securing of socio-economic justice. How can we ensure this justice? By banning the regionalism in Bihar, UP, northeastern states. We should also not take effective measures for socio-economic justice. And there is a role of the political parties. They should always treat equally. They should not only consider the regional interests, but they should also give heavy weight upon the national interests. There should be a bridging of regional imbalance. I say this region is more developed, this is less developed, and again this is more developed, so it will lead to inequalities. There should be special developmental plans for development of each region. Central should not use its power to act as a big brother of the states, and it should refrain from using centralism, because if concentration of powers is there, it will harm our economy, and our resources are there in a particular at the hands of a particular region. Then it will cause exploitation, more exploitation of the people living in other regions. Hence it will lead to an unhealthy development. Regionalism, all organizations must unite to and should brand the regionalism as anti-national, and the there should be equal decentralization, because if there is sharing of the powers, as in case of federalism, it will preserve our democracy. Coalition politics should also lead to harmonious relationships, but the coalition governments in India are a failure. But yes, there has been a rise of a third federal front. Okay, this I will discuss in the next sessions. This is a different topic, but secularization means there is a desire for local autonomy, but it should be given the most strictly. It should not be bound. The interests of other regions should be properly given to all. So this is our video for today. Thank you for watching.